So let's speak to this thing about women on the journey to meeting their husbands and also saying things like I don't have time. Let's speak to those category of women. This is not all category of women, so women have all the time. But there are women who are on the journey to meeting their husband and they just have the ringtone of I don't have time around you. If a lot of things that we're going to get that is going to be cherished for life are things that we are going to do outside of our comfort zone. So first things first, you have to understand that the process or the journey to meeting your husband and being found by him may not necessarily be one that is going to come within your comfort zone. It doesn't mean it will be stressful. There are two different things, but it doesn't mean that it will be in your comfort zone. Again, stories, if we hear stories, not all stories, because this situation is not for everybody. Those who I'm talking to know who they are. You hear about women who had to travel. I know I've heard stories because I enjoy series learning about how people met their husband. You hear about how people had to travel. It was not convenient. Not like they knew that, oh, they were going to get a husband where they were traveling to, but it wasn't convenient. They stepped out of their comfort zone towards borders and spaces and countries and cities that they believed that God was leading them towards. And right there, while they were living their lives and fulfilling purpose, they met their husbands. Of course, these things that I've just said right now seem simple, but is a lot to decode. And that is why I believe I've been given this call to help. That's what I really do behind the scene, to help you decode and make these things easy to understand steps that you can begin to walk in. It's not just a complicated talk, because a lot of times you can hear things out on YouTube, on the internet, and just like, okay, how do I do it? What I do is I show you the how, and make sure that if you're at that space where you're just wondering, I've tried all I believe there should be, what is truly wrong with me, in quotes, and I've done a video about nothing being wrong with you. Please check that out. It's a short video, but about something being broken or something missing in terms of ignorance, that sort of thing. But as I was saying, the saying you don't have time and not being interested in stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it's conversing in a group for singles or going for, there are people who met their husbands at baby showers or going for events or even helping out and volunteering. Some single women are so lazy. They don't volunteer for anybody. They're on their phone. They just want to do their thing. By all means, of course, you have the right to earn and you have the right to work and be paid for in your career, but that's not how life is revolved around. Life is not all about just you working in your career, staying in your home, sleeping, and so on and so forth. Good for you. However, there's the part of also contributing and connecting with other people, and sometimes, a lot of times, it takes you out of your comfort zone. You have to know that those contribution is in alignment with where you are going and where you are headed, and it's not for selfish reasons. A lot of people also think that, and that's the problem I need to share here. Some single women, future wives on the journey to meeting their husband, think that they can strategize and plot their way through to meeting their husband by selfish gains. I want to tell you here for free that that is not how it works. This is because the institution of marriage is not built for selfish people. It's not built to work for selfish people. And that is why you're seeing a lot of marriages break out, because a lot more people are getting selfish, if you will, selfisher by the day, and they still want to make marriage work. No, that institution is not for selfish people. If you want to be selfish, self-made, self-imposed, self by yourself, self-loved, self-alone, then be single. It's not, marriage is not for you, and this is something for someone. So I'm saying this because you can't not have time on the journey to meeting your husband, which is going to happen on the journey to doing normal things and moving through your life. But you can't have time where you are in your own self space without wanting to allow others in. You're not interested. It's you and just your circle alone. This is important. And for those who are in circles, it could be religious circles or any kind of circle that you're in, but I know for sure about religious circles and examples from there who think those are the only people you want to love. That could also be a hindrance to meeting your husband. You could just think, look, it's just me, myself, and my circle. And nobody says that, oh, you should now go and be unequally yoked if you're in a religious setting or if you're a minister. However, you have to learn to create space for people who don't look like you to even listen to them. What I say to future wives and successful single women on the journey to meeting their husband is be open to listening to everybody, even though they don't look like you. When I mean everybody, I don't mean everybody in the world, but I hope that you get what I mean. Be open to listening to people who don't necessarily look like you. Some people are not interested. Once some person who doesn't look like them starts to speak, they zone out, and it's just what it is. They are gone. Like, that's that for that. If it's not their pastor teaching or a friend from their circle, you've lost them. It's actually a problem. It's a problem. It's not a thing to brag about. It's a problem, because you should be able to listen to things that even challenge your thinking, because I believe that the quality of your conviction comes in when the things that you think about or you've been taught have been challenged, and it still stands and it still works. It's not about you hiding. A lot of successful single women on the journey to meeting their husband, especially people of faith, have this fear. But you should actually be happy and feel blessed if what it is that you believe is challenged and yet still stands. Even you, it's more for you. You know that this thing about walking with Christ, even though it's done collectively, is still a very personal journey, because you're not going to give a collective account. You will give account for the work that you have been assigned to do, and you'll be told, well done, for the portion you should have done if you did what you should have done. So there are a lot of people in that space where they don't feel comfortable with people outside of their circle. If they are not with people in their religious circle, they'll be alone pressing their phones. It's a problem. It is a problem. Learn to open up, learn to speak to people. You're in a coffee shop, you're in a restaurant, you are in the gym, you're someone else. When people talk to you, who is this? I understand these things because I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. So when I speak to women of faith, whether you're a minister, you're a pastor, you're a chorister, you're an usher, or you don't even hold any role in church, you're just a church member who truly loves God, and you hang out with your circle enough, which by the way is important. So this is not a video to say don't hang out with your circle, because they are the ones that turn you on. And when I say turn you on, your spiritual capacity, mental capacity, they challenge you, they make you think better. When you guys come together with common interests, you stir yourself up, and the fire that is going to come out from those conversations are ones that will last for a lifetime. However, you have to understand that you're the light of the world and you're the salt of the earth, and you're not only there to crack up yourselves. That's another point. You're not there to crack off yourself. Now, you may say, oh, Sage, what category of people are you talking about? I have no particular category of people in my mind. I'm not talking about unbelievers no, I'm talking about all kind of people, whether they are not from your faith at all, maybe they are Muslims, or whether they are from other churches, or whether they're from Orthodox churches or other denominations, or whether they don't even believe. When people have conversations with you, or at least you learn to have conversations with people, as followers of Jesus, we have to understand that that's one of the things that made him stand out and made him exceptional. He was able to have conversations with all kinds of people. Can we say the same thing about ourselves? And so spending time, investing time, opening our mindset and capacity to even converse with people would help us to understand the world from a different perspective. And you can say, how does this concern me meeting your husband? It could. The thing that could have been blocking you from meeting your husband could have just been you stepping out of your comfort zone of just having conversations with people that you're used to, with someone you don't know, and you turned unspiritual. But just having one conversation with this person, you're like, what? You never looked this way. Have you not met people like that who don't look like what it is that you've just experienced? And I know that is some people's testimony. So this video is your cue to step out of your comfort zone. And if you need guidance on how to do it, you need the how to, do well to send me a message and to reach out to me. I am rooting for you.